Hello and welcome once again to Red Gaming Tech for a first look. I'm not really going to call this a first impressions review because, well, this is a free-to-play MMO, meaning that, of course, numerous hours are required to actually get a accurate first impression. So I'm just going to show you the basics of the game, the basic premise, combat, how the crafting system works, etc, etc, and then if you guys like it I may do another video when I played a bit more. So this is Trove. As I said, it's free to play and was by Trion Worlds. As you can see, it has a very interesting graphic style. Kind of reminds me more of Cube World than it does of Minecraft, but it has the very small cube world-like blocks on the characters. It has the larger blocks from Minecraft. But what is nice though, you don't have to jump, you just have to press forward to go up these little blocks, which is just lovely. So, the graphic style I actually quite like. It's bright, it's colourful, and it reminds me of Cube World, which is always a good thing. So what do you actually do? Well, first thing you can do is you can find an empty plot and make what they call a cornerstone. I did have one, but I don't think I can remember where it was, so I'm going to go hunt for an empty plot and kind of talk through the basics of the game. Now obviously there are some mining and crafting elements in this game, as you would expect. You press tab and you go into crafting mode, and here is when you can destroy blocks like so, and of course when you can place blocks as well. So if you just want to build stuff, you absolutely can do so. Now the main element of crafting are these blocks here, which are, as you can see, called shapestone ore. And they are pretty much a vital component for making anything. So you do want to keep your eyes peeled for those as you're out and about in the wilderness. And you need those, plus of course other elements, as well as something called flux, which I will discuss later. I kind of want to show you more about the cornerstone and stuff before I get into crafting, as you do actually need a cornerstone to craft. So there's that. So just picking up some shapestone so I can actually craft stuff. Hopefully I will find an empty plot. Aha! So here we are. We have an empty plot. We also have a enchanted tree, which I'm just going to cut down because I'm a menace. There we go. Right, so literally you have an empty plot like this and you press E. There we go. This is my cornerstone. Pretty basic, as you can see. Basically, you don't build a new one. You just kind of move the one you already had. So as you can see, I've already got a couple of bits in here. I've got a loot collector as well as a ring crafting bench. But when you first create your cornerstone, you will only have this novice crafting bench here. So you go in and you can see you can make all these different benches. And obviously, I have all this shapestone, so I can make quite a bit. So I don't have enough flux for this, as you can see, and for that I need primal green, and for that I need flux and shapestone, that just shapestone, so you kind of get in the idea. Obviously we'll get more complex, this is why it's a first look. I'm going to build that because I'm curious what that actually does, and of course it shows you the crafting system. So that will now be in my inventory. If I go into build mode I can then place it down. Let's just pop it there. There we go. Right. So let's have a look what we can do with our builder's crafting bench. So now we can build trading post, a barber shop, blocks and decorative. So we can get a workbench, cube converter, wheel of seasons, whatever the balls that does. Be helpful if they told you what it does, mind. So as you can see, you can build. Oh, I'm being attacked. That is not cool. So yeah, you can absolutely be attacked while in crafting mode, which I am not a huge fan of, if I'm honest. As you can see there, the combat is fairly basic, but I'll go more into detail. I was so rudely interrupted, and to be honest I need a door or something. I need to make a door. I feel like that's what I need. Anyway, can I make a door with this? Let me see. Not from here, at least. So, how do you get flux? That's kind of what I was trying to get to. What you do is you you make your loot collector, which of course you will build. That's probably the first thing you build because the tutorial that comes up in the corner there does tell you to build one. So what you do is you get an old weapon that you don't want. So just for example, that's a punch pants, to be honest. So I can just pop that in there, and basically I will break it down and I will receive 3 flux. So essentially any junk weapons that you get or when you're picking up loot, or old weapons that you don't need anymore because you've got something better, you break them down with the loot collector into flux, which you can then use to craft other things. So it's fairly basic. So I won't have enough just from that most likely to craft anything. I don't know if I want to get rid of that. That actually looks decent. I can get rid of that though, because that's pretty pants, and of course it only gives me 1 because it's not very good. And you can use flux for all sorts of things. So for example, as well as of course the crafting bench, the builder's crafting bench, and all these other benches that I don't have yet simply because I don't have the flux for them, they of course each have their own stuff to make. But you can also make rings which will give you boosts as well as of course, you know, random stats. So this one contains a ring that grants health and additional random stat. Place on an action bar and throw it to open. So I've got that there. So I can open that for you in a minute. And then we've got all these different stone boxes here. So I can make this one if I wanted. Physical damage, random stat, magic damage. That's kind of what I want. So let's make that as well. So now we have 2 boxes to actually enjoy. So let's grab my ring. There we are. And that one too. Right, so now we have stuff to equip, and equip works pretty much how you'd think. You just literally go to your inventory and right click. So yeah, I have 2 rings and I can only equip one of them, but yeah, obviously now I can break that down to flux if I so desire. So you kind of get the idea. Now, as for building stuff, I haven't seen any crazy creations, but this is the adept area, meaning the sort of, I'm not a complete noob, but I'm still new kind of area, so there might not be any crazy creations. But you very much can just go to building mode, destroy the block, and then naturally place it back down. So it pretty much works as Minecraft does, to be honest, just slightly different in terms of exactly how it's executed. So if you're the type of person who just wants to build stuff, you absolutely can do that. You will of course have to venture into the world to get certain materials, and of course power up your character, get different weapons, and craft new stuff to make your character more powerful. As you can see, I have a few different abilities on my little hotbar here. I have Spitfire, Burnt Offering, and Avatar of Flame. Obviously that's fairly like new, I guess is the word. As you can see, this is my character and I'm level 6, so as I said, this is pretty early. I have all my stats here, so not too bad. Magic damage is of course very high, and I've got a little bit of a buff on my health at the moment. Now you can actually change the look of stuff if you wanted by using this inventory screen as well. Just want to make sure that I've still got my good weapon equipped, because yeah, that would be lovely. Okay, alrighty, so that's enough about the crafting, I think. I mean, that's all I've discovered for now. Obviously this is a first look, I know I keep reiterating that, but it's just important to say, given that this is an MMO and it's going to take a long time to get going. So the best way for you to level up, it's not quite what I'm meant to do, but never mind, is for you to find dungeons on the map and defeat the enemies within. Now I've not really had any real problems with these yet, and as you can see there's a giant cross over there. That means for now that that dungeon has nothing in it because it's recently been conquered. So, and it's the same on the map as well. So if I head this way, didn't actually mean to do that, so just quickly refill, I can do that. Now you get a mount within a couple of levels, to be honest. Now I know it's not flying, but of course just makes your travel easier. And you can't actually attack while you're mounted, so you absolutely have to get off. It's just for travelling, at least at the start. Now let's discuss the combat, because I feel like that is the weakest part of this particular game, as at least at the moment it suffers from the same problem that a lot of MMOs do, in that it's not very interesting to kill things, at least not early levels. Maybe it gets better when you get more powerful abilities and stuff like that, but for the moment, you just literally hold down right mouse and occasionally press an ability, and that's about the end of it. There's not really much to the combat at the moment. That may change, but for the moment the combat is 100% what I would call the weakest part of the combat here. That's the case for most MMOs though, like at least at the start it's kind of just like you only have a couple of abilities, and it's, you know, it gets better as you gain more abilities. So perhaps it will get better later on, but all I can speak about is what I've experienced, and that is fairly combat. But the rest of the game is actually pretty good, to be honest. And it would help if I could actually see, that would be lovely. Lovely. There we go. Avoid the spikes. Is there anything juicy around here? Maybe, actually. What are these? Oh, nothing. Okay. So yeah, for the moment, combat is the weakest part. The movement, exploration, the crafting system, the graphics style, just how interesting is the game, they all seem very promising. So yeah, that's a dungeon at least at the start. Of course, they may get more complicated later on. They most likely will, to be honest. I'll be very surprised if they don't. Obviously, this is still early, very early in the game. So, yeah. Aside from the combat, which, as I said, I actually really like Trove. It reminds me of Cube World in a lot of ways, but obviously, last time I played Cube World, it was in alpha. So this is obviously a lot more fleshed out than that. Obviously, Cube World might be different now. I haven't played it in forever, to be completely honest with you. And it has an interesting twist on some well-known mechanics, of course, from Minecraft, and uses them in a slightly different way than what you would expect. It doesn't exactly have the Minecraft system of you get wood and stone and you make an axe, that sort of thing. It's basically an MMO with crafting elements, essentially. And the crafting is more to power up your character and stuff like that than for building epic fortresses or anything like that. Now, you absolutely can build epic fortresses. The game actually kind of encourages you to do so, because is this mine? I think this is mine. There we go. If you look at the crafting stations available, you have one for Adventurer and one for Builder. So this one, the one that I have got in my little corner here, is if you just want to build stuff, make an epic community, and then go out and fight stuff, and you just want to go out and fight stuff, you have that too. So they encourage both styles of play, and of course you can have a mixture of both, as going out exploring, killing monsters and things like that is 100% necessary to actually, you know, get stuff to craft with. See if I can make... No, I need 10... Goy, 10 flux? Jesus, right. Let's have a look what I got. Big whopping bag. It's a hat! I'm now wearing a burger on my head. Because... why not? Oh, hello, friend. Right, where was I? So I'm wearing my glorious burger, and I can probably get rid of this for some flux. Morgue muzzle. The puppy will procure its own bones. This is not in your collection. It's not that great. And spiral scepter. I don't particularly want that because it's pants. So I might be able to get some flux. Possibly. Let's try it. Okay, I'm only going to get one. Yep. Again, one. So obviously the better the item, the more flux you're going to get. Ripe in the face. Vegetably, someone doth disapprove. No. I actually wanted to equip that. Okay, so now I have a tomato. That goes well with the burger. Yeah, definitely like that. That is some styling right there. So yeah, you kind of get the idea. It is kind of, well, it's very based around loot, getting many weapons as possible, and I have to say, getting weapons is pretty easy, at least at the start. It might get harder as you go on, as the dungeons themselves get harder. The only thing that's a bit annoying is getting flux, as of course, if you've only got pants weapons, which is all you're going to have at the start, it's going to take you a while to actually get enough flux to make any of the cool stuff. But of course, it is an MMO, so the fact that it might take a while to do stuff is kind of a given, in a way, I suppose. So that's not really a criticism, just something to keep in mind. This is obviously an MMO, it's going to be a bit slow burning at the start. But do I like the concept? Actually, yes. I could actually see myself playing more of this. It's strangely addicting, and I want to discover more. I want to explore new lands, take on new dungeons, get loot, become more powerful, and see exactly where this game is going. I haven't seen any form of quests really, apart from what the game gives you in a kind of tutorial-esque fashion, but this is very early, so perhaps there will be quest givers and stuff later on. It would kind of make sense, and of course tie into the system fairly well. Ooh, I got a stuff. What did I get? Let's see. Frontier Felt. Nah. That's a bit pants really, isn't it? So yeah, I think let's go for a bit of explore, and then I'll wrap up the video, see where the nearest dungeon is. Oh, actually, almost forgot, I'm going to go through the store as well. But yeah. Where's the nearest dungeon that has been taken on? Let's go that way into the green bit. I like the sound of that. Green is good for you and me. Generally means good things. The variety of environments is actually quite nice as well. As you can see, there is kind of like a murky wood. Here is like bright and colourful fields with different types of enemies. And there's quite a few different environments even in the starter areas, which is quite nice. Keeps things a little bit fresh. You're not fighting the same enemies. A criticism levelled at many MMOs is that you're basically beating up spiders for 500 hours or whatever. But not so much here, at least, because it's got a nice variety of environments and they all look quite pretty. That is, of course, if you like the graphic style. Alright, come on, let's do this. Let's do this. Ooh, I have a thing. Something. Hooting Nanny. Alright. Nah. Not great. Alright. Apparently there's a dungeon right here. Maybe it's the one down now? Let's have a look. See if I can find this bad boy. Let's see if I can find it. It might be the one I've already done. Oh, I missed an item apparently. Ow. Not very nice. Right, let's see. No. Right, apparently there's one just over there. So let's go and have a look. Because I do want to just take on one more dungeon, show you the store, and then wrap up the video. I think I've given you a nice first look at the game. As I said, if you guys are interested, I might do more of the game and see what it's like further on. I'm definitely interested to play more. It definitely seems a bit more fleshed out than Cube World. Of course, as I said, Cube World was an alpha the last time I played it, so yeah. Obviously, I can't speak for how Cube World is these days. Right. Now that the bees have stopped shooting me, which is just extremely rude, let's head up here. Bum, bum, bum. Pew, pew, pew. There we are. Bounce, bounce, bounce. Oh, hello, Mr. Ow, skeleton friends. Do. Just before you ask, by the way, my health is regenerating. That's because I have an item to do that. So, oh, it's you again. I've already defeated you. Never mind. Ow. Come over here. You want my bomb in your face. Oh, damn! Not used this power before. Woohoo! Aww. I was enjoying being a badass dragon. Yay! Right, so we now have a new objective. Use the loot collected to gain styles of and earn flux for 2 more pieces of loot. Alright, sounds good. Woo! Ow! Guess that answers my question of do you take full damage that I was kind of wondering about. So, overall impressions of Trove are good. It's a shame about the combat, but it might improve as my character does, so it might be a non-issue later on, so I'm not going to harp on about that too much. But it is something that I wanted you guys to know about, because obviously I'm supposed to be giving a fair impression of the game. Stop shooting me, it's extremely rude. I'm trying to speak. Is this my house? I think so. Yes. Alright. So, let's see what it has in store. Why is my wall broken? Ow! God damn it, I'm trying to fix my wall. How rude. Right, where was I? There we go. Right. That's also kind of crap, so let's accept. Alright. Cool. Now you've collected more styles, choose another one. Press C to click the small icon below an equipment slot. Ah, yes, so this is what I was talking about earlier with it. You can change the style of something. So I can now change my style. Hide hat. No. My burger is glorious. So I think that's enough of the game. Let's click off that, click off that. There we are. Right. The main thing that I have to discuss, and obviously there's going to be microtransactions because it's a free-to-play game. That's cool, but the prices are a little bit ridiculous. So let's have a look. This is, apart from, like, I was all about the gameplay. Now we've got to talk about the business model, because that's also important. The game itself, definitely recommends, but the microtransactions, not so much, because, well, they're not so micro. So as you've got your starter pack here, $3.99, has 750 credits to get a helm, blah 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 blah. Seems reasonable, right? But then you have these packs that are £15. Now this unlocks a class. Whether or not you can get that class elsewhere, I don't know. But if not, that's kind of pants, to be honest, if you can't get that in game. There's power pack as well that has quite a bit of stuff. Now these are on what I would call the high end, but then of course you can buy credits, and here is where the issue begins. 750 credits, $3.99. Alright, that seems fairly reasonable. $76.49 is not a microtransaction. That is not micro in any stretch of the imagination. This is too big, almost too big by itself. These two, you can buy a full game for this much here on PC, and this you probably could buy two if you're, if one was reduced or something. And then you got these ones as well. So I'm not a huge fan of the business model, to be honest with you. Now here you've got more classes. So you can buy those with credits. That's good. Good to know. So you can buy more classes. Now all of these classes are pretty much available. This is my class here, the Dracolites. As far as I remember correctly, all of these are available apart from the Tomb Raiser. So I'm not sure why you'd want to buy these, but whatever. Maybe the Boomeranger isn't actually. But most of these are. Ice Age, 100%, Candy Barbarian, yes. Ninja, yes. Fade Trickster, yes. Shadowhunter, yes. Pirate Captain, rather, yes. Gunslinger, yes. I can't remember about the Knight, to be honest. So you can buy these things with credits or in-game currency. So premium currency, qubits are what you in the game. So let's see. So this 750 credits, which you can buy for $3.99, does not even buy you a class. You would have to buy that twice to get a class, or pay 8,000 qubits. Now, how many qubits do I actually have? Let's see if I can find out. Nope, it's not quite what I wanted. Go away. How do I find out how many qubits I've got? I don't actually know how many qubits I've got. Can I not see how many qubits I've got? No. I literally, unless I'm going blind, I can't see how many qubits I've got. Which is just grand. Okay, so where were we? Oh wait, that's how many qubits I've got. Sorry. Brain fart, sorry. So, after playing for about, I'm going to say 2 hours or so, it's not too bad, actually. I could buy the Tomb Raiser class without too much trouble. It's just the fact that you'd have to buy 2 of those cheap packs to get it. So that's, what, £7 basically. No, £6, but £8. Jesus, maths, God, wow. Sorry. Then, of course, you've got costumes. So these, as you can see, you can only buy with real money. Now, they're only like $12.50, as you can see, apart from a couple which are $1,500. But again, credit packs. The cheapest pack is $3.99, and then it jumps up to £15. Right? There's no in between. You can't buy 1,000 credits, just for example. You pay £4 twice, or you pay $15.49. Which is kind of the problem with this game, to be honest. The business model I'm not a fan of. Now these are only costumes, they are cosmetics, so that's good. You're not getting any pay to win nonsense with that, so that's something. But the fact that there are any credits... Then you have flasks, which are, of course, things that will actually help you in the game. So for example, this Elysian jug is basically a huge health potion, as you would expect. That's what it looks like. And that you can buy with qubits or the in-game money. As you can see, they're all, apart from these lower ones, which are a bit more expensive, $7.50. So that's basically £3.99 for one of these. Or you can buy it with the qubits. And as I say, after a couple of hours of play, I've almost got 4,000. So I don't know, it's a mixed bag with the business model, to be honest. It looks okay. like with this sort of stuff and this. Well, this is dodgy, I meant, but the fact that there's a pack for 76.49, I just have no words for that. And these, I don't know. So these, some of them you can buy with qubits, some of them you can't. Now these are wings, so obviously you can fly, I would imagine. Obviously I don't know, because I haven't bought them, but... Now none of these... I think this is the amount that I've got, Swift Sebastian. So you can get some of these without paying any money. And of course some of them you can't. Do they give you a direct advantage? I don't think so. Maybe this one, because it's immune to lava. And that's probably helpful in the later levels. But they don't look like they give you advantage. The wings I don't know, because I don't know if they actually give you flight or if they're just cosmetic. It doesn't say. So we've got goods. So these are decorative, I would assume. No, they are not. They are forging materials that you can buy only with real money. So, yeah. The pay-to-win elements are unfortunately a little bit there. It's not really pay-to-win. Pay-to-play faster, I guess, is more... I don't even know what that is. So, it hasn't explained patron to me, so I'm not going to pretend. I guess it's like a optional subscriber thing, and you probably get reductions or maybe free stuff in the store. That's my educated guess. So, yeah, there are some advantages for paying more money. Like, for example, to rename yourself, you need to pay with real, in-game currency. Sorry, credits, which are the real money thing that you can only get by giving real money. So that's Chaos Forge, randomize the stats on a piece of equipment. So I would imagine that all of this stuff is stuff you can get in the game, like a Dragon Cash or whatever. But if it's obviously a lot easier to go, oh, I'm going to pay 200, blah. Yeah, it's cheap, but I should be able to pay with qubits too, to be honest. So I'm not a fan of the business model. Obviously, it is completely optional, and of course, microtransactions are to be expected in a free-to-play game. It's just a thing. Free-to-play is where I don't mind microtransactions, but they do have to be done right. These aren't terrible, they're not the worst I've seen, but they're a little bit iffy. So do keep that in mind. Overall, though, I would recommend it, because I've not had an instance yet, at least, of, oh god, I need to spend real money to progress. Of course, this is very, very early, as I've said like 50 billion times now. As I said, if you guys are interested, I'll play a bit more and go from there, and then you can kind of let me know, I'll let you know, rather, how it actually works with the combat, etc., business model, blah, with me having gained a few levels. But yeah, overall, I would recommend it. Just stay away from the store for now. That's my recommendation. Anyway, that is me done for this video. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.